Okay, can you hear me now? Is it working? It looks like it's working. It might be a bit too loud. Let me turn it down even. Because I got the mic open now, so it should be working now. Yeah. Thank you, Eclectic. Okay, so you can hear me in Chrome, but you can't hear me in Firefox. Fascinating stuff. Well, I cannot control that, I guess. Anyway, I will go over the thing again. Welcome back, everybody. It's ArtFight 2026, which means I'm doing art streams. That's why everything's a little bit different. Everything's a little bit wonkier. It's all good. We'll figure it out together. But we're also going to be doing some tests to make sure I can do it, if it works, if my screen works, my screen mirroring works, and isn't too crowded or whatever. We will continue doing art streams for the rest of 2026 ArtFight. And we might continue them later as well. We don't know. But if it works, I have the option to do art streams again, which is nice. So I'm going to start screen mirroring now that we might have the audio fixed. And we're going to see if that works. So let's get started, shall we? I won't be able to see chats while doing this. That's just the downside of existing in a screen mirroring universe. But we work with what we have. We love ArtFight here. And I cannot wait to get started. If I can't stream, I won't be streaming ArtFight. If you guys can't see the canvas. But if you can, then it's all good. I have some set up for today. Some choices for ArtFight 2026. Some starting choices. Okay. So it seems like screen mirroring isn't working. Which sucks. Alright, we're gonna try something else. Alright, this actually seems like this might have been the problem. You're just seeing behind the scenes a little bit right now. That's fine, right? You guys don't mind that. Can you see this screen now? Can you see my canvas now? On stream. Alright, looks like we figured out the problem. Excellent, excellent. Now it's time for ArtFight 2026. Seems I've got my stream correct. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. I may not speak for periods of time because I get focused. I hope you guys don't hold that against me. It's just how I roll. So I'm going to go ahead and start by pulling in a reference, because if you don't do references, then you may not have stuff to do starting ArtFight, depending on the type of craft you do. Alright. Because I did skip mermaid. I started with mermaid characters. I got a couple that I want to do. Today's just going to be mermaid centric. That's just how I'm doing it this year, which is fine. I'm just going to go ahead and crop this nice and close so that I don't have to worry about extra background. So I don't necessarily be planning on drawing the whole person, as it were, but I do plan on drawing fun fashion. Like fun designs like this. I like modern fantasy designs too, which this sort of fits into, even if it may not be as accurate to that particular genre as I might be saying. So this guy's apparently a whale shark merperson, which is very neat and interesting. I like that whale sharks have been getting a lot of love recently, because they're just big old gentle beasties. And so I'm sort of going to do a take on whale shark, but I'm also doing fashion because I don't really want to draw scales right now or do all the super mega details, and I like his big old jacket, so I'm just sort of gonna do a play on that and the whale shark. So because I feel like everybody deserves a good fangy. This is one of those situations, my friends, where you're gonna have to comment what you're enjoying, and I'm gonna have to see it later, so something's wrong with that, but I don't know what yet. So just be that it's not close enough. Looks better, but this is still wrong somehow, so I gotta fix this. That's better. That's why I like digital art. It lets me fix my mistakes. That hair's gonna be difficult for me. I don't know why, but it will. I can just feel it in my bones. That it's gonna cause me problems. Anyway. I'll do details and stuff in a minute. Because, yeah, I gotta get the, like, basic designs down, but it's nice to do art streams again. Everybody gets to see my crazy zooming and swerving around the canvas. The sign of a true artist right there is just utterly inability to stay in one specific spot, just going crazy. Or at least it is for me, so. Basic shapes, just get the basic shapes down. What I wanna do. I never really have a total plan when I come into ArtFight any given year. I just sort of wing it until I'm happy, which I think is fun. But I also am the kind of person to, oh yeah, that's a lot better. To do a bunch more revenges than I do actual attacks, because I like giving as good as I get. Which of course means that I don't often go out of my way, because a lot of people, once they realize that I'm always an attack back kind of person, this is a bit too big, so I'm going to need to shrink that back a little bit, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. But yeah, once people figure out I'm an attack back sort of person, they tend to come back year after year, which is nice. I like seeing familiar faces show up. And I do recognize usernames and art styles. Not so much usernames, but definitely art styles I recognize. Details on this one. Because apparently this boy is electrified. I can respect. I love a good electric-powered person. And I will say that always. That's very nice. I like that. And then we go up a level and we start doing fashion design. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that big hood design part because it reminds me of the big old mouths. Of a whale shark. I'm gonna actually make sure that I'm doing this right. So that I get colors right. Yeah, that was a good picture. And we're actually going to go ahead and clear this because I want to do a different. I'm going to give it sort of weightless look. If only because I kind of want to do vaguely underwater vibes. Is a mer person. What else you gonna do, right? I mean, there's a lot of things to do for mer people, but I'm doing it this way because I wanted to. Move that down further. I'm enjoying doing stuff like this. So, ooh, yeah. Because that's always the case. We got a little remora. Yeah, I know these aren't necessarily what remoras look like. I think it's fun. Alright, we got ourselves a nice thing here, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started on this. I'm gonna get go, put that down there, do another one. Merge all those. Go up, there we go. We got that's not right, so it is elements. Yeah, it is elements. Oh, I see. That's the issue. Got it. Looks more accurate. So maybe just go with that. And stuff like this. I don't actually like that. But I do like that. So we got that. That works for me. Nice background. Because I'm not the kind to do big, deep, hyper-realistic backgrounds. It's just not my thing. You're just gonna get your thematic background of your character. Not at all sorry. Right. Yep, not the way I wanted to do that. Looks like I need to go back up to my 3. Alright, we'll see if that works. We may need to lighten that or do something else, but we're starting with this. I'm glad I've started doing ArtFight. I didn't used to do ArtFight, which I think is a crying shame. I started ArtFight 5 years ago now, which has been a lot of fun, and I've gotten to see a lot of really interesting and neat character designs, which, you know, it has later informed my own character designs, because that's just how it goes. It is how it goes. On top of just needing to get better at seeing characters, designing them and drawing them and all of that, ArtFight is a really good resource for just going ahead and doing stuff. That's why I like it, at least. Because that has definitely helped me grow as an artist. If you are looking for ways to grow as an artist, I do recommend joining ArtFight, at least for 1 year. It is a very big investment of time, though, so you should make sure you are aware of that. It's like remora, not pulls. I'm just being silly with it. Because you're not necessarily trying to be completely accurate in whatever you're doing. You also gotta have fun with it. Because without it, the fun, you're just working too hard. For what? Points? Clout in ArtFight? It's really all about luck. Whether you win or lose. I know there are some people who are definitely trying to win for their teams or what have you. But I've never been one of those. I've just been have fun, do whatever it takes to have fun kind of person. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off those. We're gonna lower the opacity on this so that I get this part right. Because we do actually want some overlap over here. Paying attention to your layering is what will make it so that you can do stuff like this and not worry about things looking weird. Did you do scribble 3 there? Must have been before and I just didn't pick it up. We're actually gonna is just a like that. Alright. And my eraser's too big. Got it. Alrighty, here we go. Back down. Get the color back. So I can just do this. I should probably go up a step. Just for that. Just for that nice bluish color. This part gets to be the same color as this though. That's not right. And you guys get to have alternating stuff. because they're just supposed to be fish-shaped, not necessarily look like actual remoras. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and group those. Now we get to draw over stuff. I don't necessarily need to do anything super mega important here other than follow my color guide, which they got colored lines, they got dark outlines. They're very, very pretty. I do like the art. So we're gonna go ahead. The ArtFight. This ArtFight user is Coffee Cake Cafe by the by. If anybody wants to also attack this man, that is who drew. So. Okay. To make my life easier, I'm doing colored outlines on things that are very dark and have overlapping pieces and or parts. Because that just makes my life easier. It also adds to my sort of ever-changing art style growth. Because I don't necessarily need to be anything specific. I just need to do what feels right at the time. And that's the truth for every artist. Just do what feels right at the time. There are also people that I attack every year, in part because I know them, in part because I met them on ArtFight, and in part because it's just fun. They're just fun to attack. I don't know what else to say to you. It's another reason to love ArtFight. It's because they're full of silly little interactions like that. Could grow into very good friendships if you let them. Or at least that's what happened for me. Plus you get to see all sorts of people from a wide walk of mediums. For example, my friend Purple Coop is a pencil and paper only kind of beast. She's really good at it though, so you get a bunch of different like tones from the pencil on the paper. They're also known to do actual skylines and backgrounds. I don't ever do backgrounds. La 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 la. Backgrounds are just too much for me usually. I can give vague impressions of backgrounds, but that's about it. Or Eclectic, who you guys have seen in the chat. who does crochet, which of course, not all the time, never all the time. Some people change up their styles per year. Some people challenge themselves to do different things. It's really interesting seeing what ArtFight looks like during any given year, but Eclectic usually does crochet. I know this year is robot year for Eclectic. Which I do think is kind of funny considering that they weren't there for the cyberpunk versus steampunk year. So all of the robots and stuff for that year may still be on ArtFight or not. Who knows at this point in time? Because people are always shifting up their rotations. I don't. You can find almost all of my characters there on the screen on my ArtFight. I just kind of give everybody whatever options they want forever. Yeesh. Still no. Where is it? There's that big opening. Not zoom in on the eyebrows. Thank you. I know I did a good job with them, but still. Alright, yeah, that was the big problem. Let me make sure I get the right color. Yep, okay. I'm actually gonna do some color shifting. Because I feel you need it. Oh, hey! Thanks to whoever decided to pop on in. I, again, can't really see my stream screen right now because of just the way I've had to do this. But thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. I do my best to do my best. Alright, let's see. I may need to change some of that later, but we'll get there when we get there. It didn't need me to do that, so I'll delete that for now. We're here to group things. Why do they always gotta change the setup of Procreate right as I get used to it? Always doing that to me. Anyway, colored lines. Back to chatting about how I enjoy ArtFight, I guess. That's too big of a line. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just starting to see things differently. But like I was saying, I myself am a big proponent of the revenges. I enjoy people finding me, I enjoy people attacking me, and so I always try to attack back. Sometimes I run out of time, sometimes you've attacked me like 6 or 7 times, and I've gotten like 2 new people attacking me, so I'm gonna give them priority, and I'll get to you later, but I do try and give back at least 1 revenge per attack that I get. But I also really need to clear out my bookmarks tab so that I don't have any, like, you really wanted to draw this guy because this guy's got cool, interesting design. And no time to draw this guy because despite cool, interesting design, I keep getting attacked. And I prioritize my attacks. So I'm trying something a little bit different this year in the form of I'm doing a bunch of attacks as much as I can. That's usual. I've done challenges for myself where I just do 1 attack per day for the month of July. But that led to burnout, so I'm not doing that necessarily the same way again. Also forgot that little bit of hair, so I'll have to fix that. But yeah, I love ArtFight. ArtFight is great, and it makes me happy every year. And the fact that there's 3 teams this year, yes, you heard me right, there's 3 teams this year, is even better. Because I think because of how big it is, ArtFight, it's better to spread it out a little bit more. I hope they do more 3 team sets. But even if they don't, I won't blame them. I just think that would make their life easier in general. Since I don't actually need some of this, I'm just going to cut it off. Make my life easier and do a shorter drawing since I've already done clothes and what have you. But yeah. So because I'm doing another shout out, because we got new people in the chat, possibly. I can't tell. This is by Coffee Cake Cafe. This is Kaz. Morrow something. Can't remember the specific last name. Whale shark hybrid, sea creature, merfolk, person I enjoy, is pretty. Hence why I draw. That, and I like their art style. Another good reason to do ArtFight. You can possibly get gifts from people attacking you back of characters and art styles that you think are beautiful or intriguing or interesting. And you'll never know when you're going to get what. You can only try and increase your odds by attacking them beforehand. But yeah, today's Mer Day. I got another mermaid lined up after this. But I think that however you want to do art, however you choose to do ArtFight, you should have fun with it. That's what I'm trying to do. Just have fun with it. Which of course means that my art looks happy because I'm having fun with it. Yep. That looks good. This is a separate thing, which is nice. Alright, let's get some color on this bad boy. Or maybe good boy. I don't know. Yeah. Hee. There we go. And then we go up one, and we do a multiply layer. I'm just using the same color because that just makes my life easier. Bloop. To make sure that I'm doing it right. Sort of just. Having fun with this, I am having fun with this. It's always the interesting thing. Yeah, of course he did that to me. There you go. Have fun with it. Yeah, I like that. I don't know why I like that, but I definitely do like that. Steal. Steal. And so much as stealing is getting the correct colors of the character. I'm gonna do a lot of funky stuff there, because I do like doing fun eye hijinks. For anybody wondering, my ArtFight is the same as my username basically everywhere. So Star Sailor 7. You could also just look for the icon, because I try and use the same icon everywhere as well. Alright. I'm gonna try something too here. I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna play around with that. that's better. That's more or less what I was after. There we go, Gaussian blur. In fact, lower the opacity some. We still do another layer of it, like certain places. And I like that. That's fun. I'm going with that. Yeah, and I do need to do some changes up in the hairline, it looks like. But that's fine. That's easy. It's mostly just to the side over here, which is also fair. First, right, I do have one thing. Let's see if I like this as is. No. Alright. I'll go ahead and clear that. Take our inking pen and we'll go down a level. And we'll just sort of since it's lightning after all, because they're Lichtenberg fixtures, or however you say that. Don't like that. Go back. Try again. Don't put too many on it. Else you'll run out of room. That's the other good thing about ArtFight. You can just choose to do whatever you want for somebody else's character because it looks cool or you're having fun with it. And I'm having fun with the Lichtenberg figures. Figures? I don't know, man. I do like that this person, this coffee cake cafe, chose to do this with this character. Because in a similar vein, it looks like ripples on water, in a sense, which I think is cool. Alright, we don't need the inverted, we just need that. Just to clean up our edges a little bit. go. And I'm gonna put this under my red lining, just because that's what they did. And I like being able to see my outlines, so then we group all this skin together. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that. Then we'll do an overlay here in a second. But first, we do this part's the tough part, because you don't want to get rid of the line work that you did. Not too bad. So you just sort of have to figure it out pretty slowly and pretty carefully. Fashion. Yeah, that's fine. I'm a big fan of putting characters in silly situations during ArtFight. That's one of my personal favorite things to see happen to my characters. But I also know that some people like to do more serious stuff or do painterly stuff, which is really pretty. I'm not that kind of artist. My art style skews more towards honestly, you'll see me doing a lot of like weird fashion things for other people's characters. But if I can think of a silly situation for your character to be in, or a character of mine to interact with yours, then I'd also do that. I understand decision paralysis if one wants to attack me, because I do have a lot of characters just out in the open. You'll never go wrong with attacking on my first page people in the top row. They're the ones that I'm always happiest to see. The first one is my sweet, sweet boy, who I love dearly and never get enough art of, it feels like. Alright. Now I go back to here because I realized I didn't finish up what I was doing here, which was whale shark. Whale shark vibes. Which of course means I need my dots. Because that's what this guy is. He's a whale shark mer person. Love seeing unusual mer people. Well, it's, yeah. Personally, I'd love to see more eel mer people. But I get that people don't like necessarily snakes too much. And eels are just water snakes. May have to make an eel mer person, but I struggle with aquatic. Not because drawing them is hard, no. It's just because, like, thinking about what they'd be like and where they'd live and what they'd enjoy doing is hard for me, for whatever reason. Which is fair. That's fair. But yes. Getting back into drawing stuff is very nice, and I'm glad for it. Even if it took a bit. And some finagling. And I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye on the time. Because, that's just how this is gonna work. Alright. And there we have it. First ArtFight attack. Need to do one more of these sorts of things here. But I gotta get all of them. Now I'll just clean it up as I go, which is fine. Just because it doesn't look right if I don't do something like this. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. ArtFight. No. ArtFight. 2026. 1. Kaz. Not can. What the heck are you talking about? So, we have the start. Alright. Stretching a little bit. I tend to do squares just because too much canvas and I start getting wigged out, unfortunately. Alright. All of those were my reference materials. If you wanted to pause the video on those, that has the name of the character, the name of the artist, and then the ArtFight code to putting them in an attack. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, like I said, we're doing another mer person. Because I have a bunch of mer people on my list. Or at least 2. Let me check my... battery. We're still doing fine. Because that's sort of what I have to keep in mind too, is the battery power. This one is for a person who happens to be on an art server that I'm on. So in a sense it's sort of gift art too. From me to the other person. This one I want movement in it, so we're just sort of doing a mock-up. There's human there. Human there. And big ol' fin. There's those ones too, so we'll do those ones too. Just to sort of get all that movement in there. Alright. Alright. I like that pose. So now we're doing flavor. By flavor, of course mean we're figuring stuff out. Okay, that's fair. It's probably gonna be one of these charcoals. That's my texture, though. Yeah, these are better for that sand texture that I'm going for down here. Beautiful. Take our nice blue. And we fill out the whole thing down there. And we do it as an overlay. And down here we do a sort of lighter blue. Nope, we need a different one. Got it. There we go. Just to sort of fill in the blanks down there, which I do appreciate. Then we have these 3. That's our background. And I'm going to make this less blinding for everybody. Alright. Now we got to like those ears. Start getting details in on my sketch. So this character is by Lady Split Chin. I don't know why their name is that. All I know is that it is. and slash or bean, because that's what they go by in the art server that I'm in, which I love to pieces. It's where my friends are, after all. This one might end up cutesier than the other one, just because I don't ever really have full control over what style is used where, and I have a couple styles. And this one sort of seems like it wants to be cutesier. My more rounded style. So. Alright, I got that one swoop. Like that. Do enjoy a good mermaid. They're always fun. Alright, let's make sure we got hands at least somewhat correct. Just to sort of draw it out like that. Okay, yeah, there we go, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. Let's do this color as our outline color, because I think it looks nice. So. Alright. Alright, alright. Yeah, so. ArtFight. I have 2 or 3 different mediums that I use for ArtFight personally. My digital medium, which is what you guys get to watch on stream. My traditional media, pencil, paper, that sort of thing, including my markers and colored pencils, which is one that you guys would not get to see on stream because I don't have a very good setup for even trying to stream that yet. It's possible in the future that I might do it, but I also tend to sit weird with my materials, so I won't ever say that it's truly a guarantee that I might do that. Just because of how much I flail with my mediums. As seen in me doing stuff right now with this mer person. I don't tend to stop moving the canvas around, which would be bad for streaming traditional art. I won't say never, though, because the world being as it is, you never can tell when it's going to be what's coming next for you. So, let me double check, make sure. So it's a little bit more like than that for the horns. So we'll do that. And this side doesn't even get to see that, so we'll sort of do this because we're going to be doing something different for the hair, a different layer for the hair. Same for the ear fins, just because they're not the same color as the rest of the skin. Nice big old dip there. Okay. Just because these eyelashes that I'm drawing here are going to be slightly different from the way I did the eyes on the other one. something like that. For the eyes, for the sclera, that's fine. I think that looks nice so far. I'm having fun. Alright. Let's get those done. I almost thought your eyes were gold for a second. That's not right. Alright. I don't actually need that color. I need to do the eyebrows first. And then I saw lipstick. Which may just be lips for you, but not for me. Here we go. Freehand. And I take the Gaussian blur and we do something like that. I find that works best for me personally. Alright, alright. I think that this is supposed to be your skin tone, but that might be for painters. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab from there, just to make my life easier. And I'm gonna go, yeah, that's right. Alright. Let's get some of this in here. We're just doing eye stuff right now because I like doing eye stuff. Stuff like that you can't necessarily even really see. No. We'll need this part. And then we'll have to figure out some sort of outfit for it, but right now we're just trying to do some good colors. So we just gotta get the correct colors. Sorry for suddenly quieting down at times. It's not really something I can fully control. Because I just get in the zone. And then I forget what's going on. And I forget I stream. So I apologize for that. I do like this one, and I want to use it specifically for something here. Yeah. That's why I like this one. It's not necessarily on the upper body or even the front facing of the body, but it is here. That's not it. There. Very, very fun. Do like that. Do like that a lot. To the point of that even. Let's see. We need to get that hair color again. We have the base color, so we just need a nice outline color, which I believe I picked from right here. That's what I was gonna do. Back to my inking pen. I like the syrup brush. It's my favorite for inking. Just because I'm going to have some fun with this. I will still need to do the ear fins, which will be under this. Just to give me a nice edge there. Something like that. We get like a curl here. Mainly from behind, but I enjoy a good pretty sketch that gets turned into a finished product. Just like I enjoy it when people actually take into account the fact that hair is weird underwater. It tends to move as one unit, but that doesn't mean it always does. Hence why I'm doing such a weird shape for the merhair right now. Personally, I wonder if merhair sometimes is more akin to a trap for smaller fish and stuff than supposed to be a lure for sailors. An illusion of humanity. Because it would trap small fish. Which I think is funny. Alright. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. That's what I'm after. That looks nice. I like that. Right. I actually need to add something here. And then we need to add something more here, because you got gills, girly. And I forgot them. Just like I forgot some scales up here. But they're only this dark blue, so... Yeah, you don't got gills on your lower body, even though I do think you should have multiple sets. But that's me. And I think this is turning out really nicely, so... Now we'll just start thinking about ear fins. Something like this. Because they're sort of layered. And it's hard to see what I did for that side because of the colors that I put in here. But it looks like we've got something like yep, I don't like that one. Okay. So something more like that on this side. So we could just alright. Yeah, we need to take my freehand tool and just sort of go here. No, that's not going to cover it. I gotta put them in a whole separate category. And I'm gonna go ahead and go, I like this line for being the cutoff on this side. This side, you've got to contend with the flip. Everything else you can be in front of, but not this. Alright. Don't forget to do your stretches during ArtFight, or else you're gonna explode. Ain't nobody got time for exploding artists. Ain't nobody got time for exploding artists. Okay. Pull up this to get a good look at it. And we go to something. I think I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do. It's too big. Just sort of something like this. Because I think this weird layery stuff actually gives the appearance of fin texture and underwater better than most other stuff. Even if it doesn't necessarily work the way it's supposed to all the time. I think it's interesting. So I'm adding stuff to it. Yeah. We lower the opacity. Turn there. Delete the outline. No. I think the outlines being there gives something to it. So. We'll just think about that next time. That's interesting. I like that one. Now let's see. You group up. Right. Right. Let me select a color. Come on. Let me select a color. Alrighty, here we go. I think those are pretty like that. And we're gonna give ourselves a little see-throughness, but not too much. I need to turn off the hair for a second, just so that I can get something like that. Not like that. Like that going. Again, with a slight curve to it. Because this part is going to be see-through, it's going to be different. Just sort of give flow to it. It's my favorite part of underwater stuff, truthfully, is the flow. And we can just sort of do the big iconic mermaid fins here. Yep, there we go. Nice, beautiful situation. Now we gotta do the other hard part, which is separating the fins out from underneath so that we can do see-through stuff to them at a different time. Now, I get my spray paints, I get my flicks, and I get my color palette up, because we're starting at the back, but we need to start with our lighter colors first. We're gonna start by doing these flicks, making a nice sort of spot where the curve shows the underbelly a little bit. Which then fades into the bright blue. This sort of looks more like scales from a distance than anything else does. Amazing. And we sort of temper that out with the color that we've already got. And along the spine and the back. We sort of do this. And because I want to, I'm going to add some dark purple in here too. There we go, we got the fish tail. Which means I do need to redo the spots here on the back. But that's easy enough to do. Just get our colors here. And we go to this layer. We start here. Start by following this. We can get to true back here. This to do some spine stuff. And then the back looks like it blends into the tail, which is good. This was all because I didn't plan ahead. And that's fine, actually. get our abstract. Yeah, it was abstract. There we go. Yep. Oh, that didn't work, so we'll have to do that again. Not like that. I meant here. You, and you. Then we can invert it. Because technically we do need it here. Stormwatch is an interesting pen. I am having an interesting time with it. But I also agree with myself that it is a good pen for fins. And like how weirdly it layers. Sort of like you're putting jelly on stuff, which is interesting. I may need to put a layer underneath this. Of a nice pale blue purple, the median tone. Just because of how weird this looks. And the fact that I want it to still be color accurate, which it doesn't seem to want to be doing. So we'll turn this on. We'll pull down underneath it. We'll go and get median tone. Somehow that works really well, so I'm just gonna leave that as is. Oh yeah, that definitely looks like a weird-ass sea creature now. Which is what I wanted. Now I do need to put on a shirt for her. Group those together just to make it easier for me to turn stuff off. Because I don't need to do anything in particular. Power scaling. I don't know why I said it that way. That's not right. So I don't need to do this in a way that doesn't necessarily make sense to me. I just need to do it in a way that's fun. Because we did see that ribbon, shirt, doodad, tail, whatever. It's two-sided. So we'll just do that for now. We'll just go. Just wants to be like that, which is fine and fair. And I really like that, actually. Turn it down just to get the colors a little bit, and then we have 2. ArtFight 2026. 2. This is yeah, right? Something like that. And then we got 2 water people. Oop, I turned it. It's better this way. Apologies. Let's see. Since we're on a waterfront sort of vibe, we'll do this one as our next. Creature. And then honestly, I'm starting to get tired. So I will probably stop after that. But before that, everybody remember to stretch. Remember to stretch. Your wrists, your hands, your shoulders, your back. Remember to stretch. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and do our background because in this one's case, she is a swamp fae queen. So I want to make sure that that is appropriately backgrounded in my head. Which depends entirely on me. I like that. I like that. Yep. But that means I gotta find the color that gives me this. And then alright, that's good. I just want it to be dark. I want... What other things do I have? Not what I'm looking for, but good to know. That's right. Yeah, we need it to be far back. Let me just sort of lift it up a little bit. Not that much. A little bit more. Let me go back to organic. We get rainforest. We lift it up a little bit more. We do some sort of sad brown vibes. Turn that off and we'll do this instead. Forgot the bottom of that guy. I'm just gonna make it so we got no loose lines lying about. Because we don't want that to happen actually. We're just doing a little basic background. It really is. A little basic background. How did that happen? This is all that trees are. Weird little shapes with leaves attached. That's good. I like this background. So, love a good wet design, and we're all doing water-based stuff, so we might as well get sorrowful lady in here. Let's see. Just sort of gonna do. Honestly, almost angelic in the design, which is interesting to me. Guess we're going this way. That's okay. I just need to know where you're drawing me to. I mean, in truth, I'm putting her right dead center. To just sort of do that sort of thing to it, because I enjoy that. There, you got a set of forearms. This is The Wilted Lady by Plumadot. I believe this is their first art fight. The same poses just to make my life easier. Yep, same poses just to make my life easier. Same pose, arm. Just because I need to get this part right. Yeah, they're heart-shaped, but... This was for this part, so we have this sort of thing going on. After that, up. Of course. That's not what I wanted. You're doing it wrong. I hate it when you accidentally draw on the wrong layer. But it happens to all artists, so... Alright, now we can turn that off and sort of just get in the water with it. Of that one, we're gonna get I do like the big old sweepy sleeves. It's fun. It just also proves to me that I put those ripples in the thought process too early. Alright. First things first. Let's get inking on the body. That proved to me I did it wrong. Again. Because I'm starting to have moments like that. I'm realizing that I probably should stop soon. Stop soon and make sure the art reaches the recipients that it's supposed to. Oh. Oh. Yes. So. Yeah. I don't really know what I want to say anymore. I'm like out of verbiage. Probably be helpful if I could see the screen, see what people were saying, but I cannot, so all I got is my imagination, and I can only hope you guys are saying nice things. So I'm going to say that you're saying nice things. Because I want you to be saying nice things to yourselves and to each other, and I like positivity. Do just about anything, but what do I want to do for this hand? Having trouble deciding what I want to do. Okay. That works. Except now there's a spot that's open. Where? Right there. Alrighty. Let's get a little bit watercolory with it, because that's sort of the vibe that I get off of this. And I am going to be coloring this line art a different color, but it's going to be an easier way, so we're going to do that. When I get that color, we're going to just... And then that's all line arted in a different color, which is nice. I think she's so pretty. That's why I wanted to draw her at least once. Right. Not on the line art layer. always the best at these things, but I enjoy myself. That's what I want out of my ArtFight experience. It's a bunch of fun. Let's do it. Let's keep going. The reason I'm not being super specific is because I know a bunch of this is going to get covered up by the clothes that I designed here, or rather the clothes that I chose, whatever you want to call it. These ones. Which are going to have their own thing attached to them, but their own shadows and what have you. All right. Okay. I like all the soft colors. I don't necessarily ever design characters with soft colors. Maybe I should. They're pretty. Then again, I never really design characters with colors in general. I just sort of go crazy. And when I color them, I end up with bright colors more than okay. So we need to be around that at first so that we can do like that, and then from here to the back here. That's right, because I gotta do another layer. Again, if you wish to do something with this character, This character is The Wilted Lady by Plumidot. I follow them on Tumblr, which is why I know about the character and the character's design history. I just think she's neat. Hence why I do what I do here. That's not what I need. I need this color. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and we're going to color in these eyelashes and eyebrows. Just so that we can not feel bad. Yeah, that's good. Such a pretty fae lady. Also love to see swamps represented. Beautiful. We're gonna do a big old robe, and then we'll see if we can do some sort of lichen thing for the fluff trim thing that I did there. Next is in fact the robe, so let's do some sort of like gray-green. Brighter. Yeah, that's better. Alright. Let's do what a pretty fae. Even a pretty arch fae. Yep. That's good. That's good. Because in truth, I'm doing bright white. That's the color. Or rather, we'll get there. Because I don't actually like that as much as I thought I would. That's better. Let's see, do we have anything that sort of reads like lichen? Yep, that definitely reads like lichen. Sort of moldering dress. Love that. I do enjoy that. Yep, indeedy. That's right, my apologies. I forgot the most important step here. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. I feel like I say the same things over and over and over again. And you know what? Maybe I do. I'm just making sure I get my water. Next up is the hair. And she's got two-toned hair. So I just need to make sure that I get the two extremes. You, that baggy pink. You, that one. Okay. just sort of put that there, put a different one there. Start. With these. Front braid thingamajigs. For whatever reason, we got a strange hairstyle. But then again, fantasy creatures don't have to play by the rules of your hairstyles. And never had. Now let's get the other one done. Excuse me. That sort of under eye bangs is one of my favorite things to draw. I think they're adorable every time. One of my friends has a character with bangs like that. It's great. Every time. Yes, I'm talking about Vespi. And did 5, so we'll do 5 on this side too. Okay, got that. That's good. I guess I always sort of tap out at 3, huh? 3, ArtFight attacks on stream. Historically, that's also been true. As I do three attacks on stream, and then I get tired of sitting around all day. And stop. I think this is going to happen today too. My bad, I got one more thing to do. I forgot about it. But it's important. Then we take my airbrush. Then we take the pink here. There we go. Another one up. And I go about there. We Gaussian blur it a little bit. Then we refresh the bottom part. Alright. It doesn't do anything. We group those together. We delete that. We take nice yellow green. Now we can do actually a nice blue green. Blur. We do one on this one too. And we sort of got a will-o-wisp. I fuse this together and I just do a couple of spots in the background. And blur those, and we got a bunch of will-o-wisps, which is important for the character. Like that, and then we take that color, we lighten it up a little bit, we're on our syrup brush, there we go. Oh, it's too big. Oh, I actually want to do a bump. Sort of ripples like this. Off into the pond, swamp area, and yeah. I think that's great. I shouldn't have just done that. 3. Alright. And those are my 3 attacks for this stream. I hope you guys had fun. Yeah, that's a good point to stop. Near 50%. We're just gonna go to the Be Right Back screen, because I should probably make a just chatting screen, but we'll actually go back here. I hope you had a good time. I hope yeah, hi. Wow, we got a whole bunch of people. I'm ready for day 1 art fight. I am so glad to see all of you. I'm done for now, mainly because my back is starting to hurt. And my shoulders are too, so I'm going to take a break. Maybe I'll come back when my iPad is charged more, but I hope you all had fun. I hope to see you tomorrow, because I plan on doing art streams for the entirety